Aries, yeah, you're a little bit off the hook this month. Not all the way, but a little bit. Okay. So I'm happy for you. Congrats that you've gotten through all this stuff with the Aries month of March. You went through an eclipse, everybody went through it, but you really went through it, Aries. So I can imagine that you're a little lighter, refreshed. You are rearing to go. I think you might even be a little antsy. Of course you're antsy, you're Aries, okay? So it's interesting how this month you kind of like start the month. The first weekend of the month is an Aries weekend. It was part of last month's forecast. The weekend of the 4th and 5th, it's Cinco de Mayo, and you're the first weekend after Beltane, so a lot of people will celebrate Beltane. The idea of it, some people just think that they're celebrating warm weather, right? But there's something stirring in the air, and it's Beltane. Beltane is this May Day, the celebration, the way before there was TVs and computers, when people celebrated nature's cycles, because what else was there to do? Right? So paying attention to the details of the season changing and the birds chirping and the plants popping. So there's fertility in the air, and that's kind of what I know about Beltane. I don't know a lot. Went to a lot of May Day festivals when my kids were little, and went to Waldorf school for a little while, and we got the wonderful experience of dancing around a maypole, and it just became part of life, and it just feels right. Boy, does it feel right. At least it does to me. So Aries, this month, I did a little pre-reading before I got on this video. And for your pre-reading, you got a couple cards. One was the Knight of Wands, which is so you. Let's see if I can show you here. The Knight of Wands. This is from the This Might Hurt tarot deck, one of my new favorites. This guy came up in the month ahead reading, and he's you, Aries. He's full speed ahead. He's on his motorcycle. He's got his wand. I'm happy to see he's wearing a helmet. Aries, you are ruled by Mars, and Mars does rule the head. So good for you with the helmet. Keep that in mind this month, because you're going to want to go. So the start of the month, Aries, you want to go. And boy, what fun energy is in the air when you are the moon sign of the weekend. Then we kind of finish the month with you. We finished the month. Boy, you did pretty well for yourself. Let's see. May, well, all right. Technically, we start June with you. I counted it as the last week of this astrology report, but technically you're going to ring in. You ring in May, you ring in June. So the 1st and the 2nd, the weekend after Memorial Day, the moon will be in Aries starting on late Friday night, the 31st of May. So you're in some powerful positions, Aries. It's kind of about you, and I know you. I know you like it about you. It's okay. It's got to be about somebody. So Aries, I look at the chart and I think I see things kind of starting to move out, right? Like Mars is still in your sign, but Mars rules you. So it does great there. You've got the transiting North Node. You've got transiting Chiron, transiting Aries, but you just had Mercury move out of your sign. So things will start to, we're coming out of the Mercury retrograde. Thank goodness. That was all about you too. So there's a lot about you, but it's lightning. It's moving. Mercury into Taurus, into this grounded earth sign. So, these planets are going to start moving into your neighbor, and I think that'll be fine with you. You will have this North Node thing, transiting South Node thing still going on. So my little bit of understanding the nodes, it's a concept. It's a premise. They're not really planets. They're angles. I do believe that I'm correct with that. They're angles of the moon. So we have some themes associated with these nodes about purpose and future and past. And so that transiting South Node in Libra is in opposition to you, Aries. So this could be old stuff. This could be old relationships. This could be old legal matters. This could be current legal matters. It could actually be like repetitious theme, something you've seen a theme of before. Or this could be positive legal matters. Don't think it has to be negative. So sometimes, though, I get the impression with the South Node that there are things that we're ready to move forward from, okay? And the other card that came up in my pre-reading for you was this Three of Swords. And this is an interesting version. It almost looks like rain and this like black inky material there. Kind of almost looks, this is the first time I've seen that. It almost looks like a person with their hands up in the air. So I just kind of got success vibes of old things healing, okay? So if you want to take action, like I know you do, maybe you take some action in self-healing. Maybe you step into a therapy office. Maybe you need to just go rant about an ex or someone that is going to be an ex or someone who's done you wrong in some kind of relationship. Maybe you just go purge some of that right now, okay? Maybe it's real brief. Maybe it's just a session or two, because this is coming up to heal and you're ready to heal. It's really, really very cool. All right, so let's pick a few cards for you. So we're talking about the month of May. And, like I said, not a lot, starting off the month, Moon in Aries, and starting June, Moon in Aries. Then when we have the Sagittarius full moon, that's going to be trining you because that's another fire sign. So you're going to that's going to be a harmonious position for you with the full. And when does that happen? That is on full Sagittarius moon on Thursday, the 23rd. But that's going to affect us a little before and a little after. I see that as a good period for you, Aries. Okay, Aries, I have your cards here from my pre-reading set up so you can see them. And I'm going to do a very simple spread for you to start off. I'm just going to do past, present, future. So I'm shuffling as we speak. Here's the past, present, one more here for the future position. Let's see what you need to know. What are you moving out of? What is going on currently? And what are you moving into? Okay, this is for the month of May 2020. And we have in your past position the Nine of Wands. All right, so we got more fire with the wands. You're already a lot of fire. He's writing. He's got all these pens and all this papers and push pins and sticky papers and everything here. So he's busy brainstorming, writing his thesis. Maybe it's exams. Okay. So there's been a lot of overstimulation. You're really good at it. You can do it. There was a lot of fire last month. You were your fiery self, but it's not a good place to stay in all the time. Okay. This is reflecting the present situation. We have Seven of Pentacles. So it almost feels like maybe you applied to a school and now you're waiting for the answer, or maybe you're waiting for your test results, something that you're waiting to come to fruition. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, it's almost like, it's coming. Those pentacles are up there growing, but they're not quite ready to be harvested. Okay. So maybe you're in a little bit of a holding period. Okay. And then as we move into the future position here, we have the Empress, and the Empress is seen pregnant always. Looks like she's about ready to give birth. All right. It looks like we've got some kind of like large cat, cougar, something like that in the background. We've got a swan. I see some kind of whale. Okay, so this is the card of Taurus. This is Taurus season. This is now. And so I see in your future position, so as we move into the month of May, timing wise, this is the month of May. So there's something that right here, like whatever you were working on, and it might not be an exam. It might not be that you applied for something. It might just be you working on your life, the project of being you. You were putting a lot of time in and you're kind of waiting for it all to show up. But it's showing me that in your future position, there's all this beauty, bounty. This is a major arcana, major secret of life card. Okay, there's no lack. And so then when I would look at timing, I'd look at, well, that's Taurus. That's now. So I don't think there's a long wait. I think you're going to see a lot of results this month, Aries. And yes, you may have some old stuff come up. The Empress came up kind of touching this Three of Swords back here. And so in some ways you might have some old situations. Could be relationship, love stuff. Could be old projects that maybe didn't take off or something that you run into the person again. There's some things from the past, okay? But they're ready. And you're in such a beautiful position here with these cards. Okay, I'm going to just kind of stand these up here for you. And I'm going to pull a couple cards for each week. So here's your month overview there. Let me pull one for each week. I'm going to do these with the mini cards, okay? So I'm going to count 4 weeks here in the month of May. And I think it's 4 weeks because we already did the first week in April's report. So the first week being, oh, hold on, I'm on the wrong page. The first week being May 6th through 12th. Okay, so for this first week, we have the King of Swords. All right, the King of Swords, a mental air energy king. He's by the book. He has a lot to do with big business. Okay, so this is being like really on it. Like here you were, 9 of Wands, writing all this stuff up, but this is like law. Okay, this is there. It's all there, and it needs to be studied and analyzed. Now, let's look at week 2, the 13th through the 19th. We have a magician here. And so we've got a major arcana card number 1, the magician. This is Scorpio energy. This is, well, really, Scorpio is co-ruled by you, Mars. Mars, that rules the planet Aries, also co-rules the sign Scorpio. So there's a lot of power here. And they're also interesting that, like, if you do have contracts that you're signing this month, please make sure that your lawyer looks at everything really good. Okay, make sure you look at everything really good, especially if you had a project that started during Mercury retrograde. You got to make sure that things are on the up and up, that all the lines have been read and analyzed. I remember saying in the astrology report for the week of 5, 6 through 5, I said there was a lot of false information. There was something about waiting until the following week, which would be this week that I'm pulling for you for the magician, to really like look through and make sure that your feelings about things are actually solid and correct and accurate. And so the magician's coming up. So sometimes he can be a trickster, or he can have ulterior motives too. Even though I love the magician, the shadow side of him. And if you did notice, he did come up reversed. I've quickly flipped him. So the shadow side can be misinformation, secrets, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so make sure that you're really careful with your paperwork, legal stuff there. And remember, we already have that South Node in the legal sign of Libra. Now we move into the next week. So this would be the 20th to 27th. The Tower. Love how it like jumped right out of my hands. The Tower. So this is my favorite tower, I think, ever. Because look at her face. Can you see her? She's kind of like, almost like winking at you. Like she had something to do with that breakdown right there. Okay. She's not innocent. She knew things needed to fall apart a bit. Okay. So you got 2 major arcanas for week 2 and week 3 and a king. Interesting month for you, Aries. See what your last week's card is. The 5 of Wands. 5 change, Wands fire. That's you, Aries. 5 of Wands. All right, well, there's a lot of gossip going on. There's a lot of opinions going on. There's a lot of people wanting to be the boss, okay? So there's a change, 5, of passion, of motivation, the spark, okay? So you may have a little bit of the last week might be a little bit more where you really got to watch your words, where you got to pick your battles, and that is the week that's your Aries weekend, okay? So choose passion, choose creativity, avoid gossip, watch your words, and let this month be a month where you can really enjoy this Empress energy that's waiting for you, and you can really let some of these old wounds heal. And there's a lot of power for you this month, Aries. So enjoy. Thanks for joining me.